All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Once again, my name is Lyonel Lamarck. I am your host here at Lion Strong. I'm excited to have you here for today's episode. I want to take the time to talk to you guys about something that's a little different than what you see and hear out there. And it was really important for me to do this because I wanted to make sure that you had information that can help you make serious improvements in your quality of life without taking a whole lot from you to do that. And what I'm going to cover is such a simple thing that when I say it, you're going to think, wait, what? Nah, there's no way. But once I go over and help you understand all the different benefits and all the ways that really can help change everything that's happening in your life, when you start implementing it, you'll start actually seeing those benefits happen very quickly. Within a matter of a week to 2 weeks, you will literally start feeling differently about everything that's happening in your life, and you'll thank me for it later. So I definitely want to hear from you guys afterwards on the ones that are actually putting this in practice to let me know how it's working for you. And what I want to talk to you about is actually going barefoot. Now, I'm sure you're seeing that trend in fitness and other things out there, right? Where people are exercising barefoot or walking around barefoot. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of different things about grounding and things having to do with that. But some of you may not really know and understand the full benefits of this. So I want to take the time and help you understand why, if you're not already doing it, why you want to include barefoot walking in your normal routine. Now, understand this. I'm not saying to you that you have to throw away your shoes and do everything barefoot for the rest of your life here. That's not what I'm saying at all. You're absolutely fine with wearing shoes and doing everything else that you do. But you should take some part out of your day where you're spending some time getting your feet flat on the ground for a few, actually, several reasons. And I want to go over this. One of the biggest benefits of you actually using this and going barefoot is that it changes a lot of what's going on in your neurological system. What's happened with us over the years, right? Because when we think about how we were coming back from our ancestors and going back decades and decades, from early man, we didn't have shoes. Everything that we did was barefoot. So there was a ton of reception, a ton of proprioception that we got from the ground to our brain that give us information on what to do and how to proceed and really help direct how our bodies functions. Fast forward now, we're in modern age, shoes are the rage and everything, but the majority of shoes and the way that they're built have really put a big buffer between the ground and our feet so that there's no way for our body to actually get any kind of feedback about what's happening. So for most of us, our brain have gotten used to functioning basically without the feedback that it needs to make adjustments specifically to help you be better. A ton of times people are getting injuries that are feet related that shouldn't happen simply because their body didn't quite know what was going on. And by the time the brain got the message, it was kind of too late. Things already happened. So one of the biggest improvements that you will see is the fact that when you actually go barefoot, that connection to the ground can now give specific feedback to your brain and activate neurons that weren't there before to help now create different synergies in your body and have your body respond differently because you now have additional information about movements that you're going to make and things that you're going to do that wasn't present before. So that's a big thing there. But also one of the biggest things that it does is it also helps improve circulation in your body. Now think about this. Just simply walking around barefoot, right, helps your body change and improve your circulation. Some of you are dealing with different things, right, that have caused that. That could be diet related and so on. There's a lot of different things that you could do to be able to fix that. But one of them simply is just by walking around barefoot every day, spending 15 minutes to an hour a day, right, just walking around literally feet on the ground on different hard surfaces helps your body again create that connection that was missing, right? Recreate that proprioception, recreate those neurons and making those connections that weren't, there. It really helps improve just the way everything functions in your body. So your circulation is a big thing that improves from there. Another benefit of walking barefoot that you don't realize from it, and I'm going to talk about some of the ones that are probably also well known, right? But another huge benefit is that you decrease your risk of heart disease. Ain't that something? Walking barefoot decreases your risk of heart disease. Again, reason for that is because of the fact that you are activating certain parts that weren't there before. You are creating so many more connections in your body. You're improving the circulation that's going on. So because of this, a lot of the typical issues that we face, right? Having our feet restricted in the shoes that we're in, and most of the shoes are super tight. They're really, I mean, ladies, you guys know this probably way more than we do, right? Having the little tight shoes so you can have the little feet, look in a certain way and whatever. Then when you take your shoes off, man, feet are swollen 3 times the size that they were before, and you can't put them back in. So you kind of have to keep those shoes on for a while, until you finish. You know what I'm talking about, right? Trying to look good for maybe that going out for that date or something like that, and using those particular shoes for that, and it does that to you. Well, what's great about walking barefoot is that can help reverse the effects of that and really improve the circulation and completely put you at a decreased risk for having any type of heart issues because you don't have the same restrictions that were there before. So that's a big deal. So you want to make sure that you actually like do things to be able to help you with this. But another huge benefit of going barefoot is grounding. I know I brought it up a little earlier, but now I'm going to expand on it a little more. What does that do? The idea of being able to actually go into nature, so walking out either on dirt, not just in your house on concrete, but on actual dirt or on grass or in the woods or in the sand, right? Where you can get that direct connection to nature. The energies that actually transfers from the ground to your bodies really help change a lot about what's going on with you. Number one, it helps improve your mood. Number two, it helps you feel more connected and more centered, when it comes to you and everything else that's happening. It really helps you go inside and inwards and how start like finding different ways to be better and perform better and enhance everything and everyone around you. So it does all of those great things. And also, again, because of the energy transfers, it really truly like invigorates you. And the great thing about that is it doesn't take long. Just step outside, step in that grassy field, and go walk for 5 minutes. Just the fact that your feet are actually putting there, right, and going and making that motion. The energies, like I said, that's coming through are really going to have a huge impact on your mood overall, changing everything, really making you feel a whole lot better. So it's an important practice that you should include besides just walking barefoot around at home, because that's really going to help make a lot of great things, happen for you as well. And so another great benefit now of also walking barefoot is when you start doing that, your body starts adjusting properly to everything. And one of the benefits that you get from it is your posture improves. So a ton of you, whether you realize it or not, the habits and the things that you do on a daily basis put you in a really poor position where your posture gets to suffer because of it. And so you try to do these different exercises and things to correct that, but it's not necessarily happening because there are things that need to be adjusted for that to happen. So when you start walking barefoot, one of the benefits from this is by having and letting your body go to the natural way, right, of you, the way you're supposed to be walking. Your feet get to spread. They're not restricted anymore. They're not coming in and bunched up like they were in the shoes that you were. Your toes are actually getting to spread. You're starting to really get that dexterity back into all of them, the way that you're supposed to. That affects everything in terms of your standing posture because now your base is more connected and more solid than it was before. And just with those adjustments, you start seeing different things changing in your overall posture. Whether you're standing or sitting, things just go differently because of it. So it's a great way to be able to make sure that you include barefoot walking and grounding into your practice because that's going to make a difference overall. Another great thing that it does also is it help improve your bone density and the bone health. I know, crazy, right? What does walking have to do with your bone health? A lot. I mean, think about this. The feet, we have muscles and everything else on our feet, but there's also a lot more bones in that little spot, right, than almost anywhere else. So that it's such an interesting thing that the more we can actually connect to the ground with this and the more we can really truly utilize our bodies there, the more benefit we get overall throughout the entire body because we are connected. So take advantage of that because it makes a difference overall. I can talk about this all day, but I can tell you that as an example, because I get to walk around barefoot all the time. I ride motorcycles. So because I'm wearing shoes when I'm riding. But whenever I'm not on a bike, the first thing I do is kick off my shoes and just walk around barefoot. I'm so much more comfortable with it now because that's just a natural thing for me. And what I've seen is the direct benefits of that in everything that I do. But what's really interesting for me is also seeing it happen in my clients, seeing people come in and really having different issues before. But just because now when they get to the gym, if nothing else, they take off their shoes and they have the ability to be able to walk around and just really like practice training and doing all the things that they do in that motion. what they found out is that they're much more connected to their movement, which is great because it's helping them like improve everything overall outside of the gym as well. What they also found out is that they feel better, they move better, they stand better. So there's so many different benefits that have come from it for them in doing that. It's definitely an important aspect to everything. So such a simple, easy thing to do, doesn't cost you anything. Just simply take your shoes off and walk around. But if you do that and you stay consistent and religious, so to speak, at it, it'll make an incredible difference in your overall well-being with everything. Another big thing that it does, it also helps improve your nervous system and how it responds to things. So we all have that fight or flight response to different stuff, right? And sometimes we have more of a flight or more of a fight or whatever, depending on what situation we find ourselves in. What this does, it really helps us learn how to regulate our nervous system because, again, having that direct connection to the ground, having that direct connection to source, so to speak, in a sense, really helps center and calm us down. So some of the negative responses that we may have had based on different things that happened before will start dissipating because of the fact that you are more connected to you and in by walking barefoot. So I know that doesn't sound like necessarily a sexy topic and something that, anyone and everyone should be doing. Because, I mean, we're in modern society now. We wear shoes, quote unquote. But really take a look at your shoes and how they were designed. You want to think about the way that they're done and what they've done to change the way we walk and the way we move isn't to our benefit. And that's an unfortunate thing because most of the shoes are created in a way where they take our bodies and they put us in a completely different position that we're simply meant to be. If you look at someone, like yourself, for example, standing barefoot, the way your feet are placed on the ground is one way. You look at the shoes that you typically wear, and you see the way the shoes are designed, like running shoes or a lot of sneakers, boots, etc. And you'll see that the design of the shoe doesn't exactly match the way your foot is standing. That's extremely important to understand because a lot of people, if they have issues with different things, right? Like you have trouble walking or there's this and that going on, one of the first things that they do is they quote unquote give you fitted shoes to quote unquote fix your issues. Like one of the things that I hear when people tell me that they have fallen arches or they're flat-footed, so they'll actually get shoes that'll quote-unquote create an arch support for them to be able to function. In my opinion, that's one of the worst things that could possibly be done for you because it's not helping you correct the problem, it's just simply making it worse. Because it's not, sending signals to your body that what's lacking, what's not connected, doesn't need to connect at all. So you can basically just turn off everything else related to that and, go on about what you do. It is so much more important to actually recreate those connections and really strengthen those muscles that were lagging so that your body functions the way it was supposed to, so that you actually build that natural arch and you adjust the way that your foot is connected than it was before. And it just simply takes a little bit of patience, knowledge of what to do and how to do, and actually applying that consistently. And you will see those drastic changes come into what you're doing. Unfortunately, most aren't doing that out there. Most want to give you a quick fix, quote unquote. That's really not a quick fix. And if anything, that's a death sentence, so to speak, for you in a different way, right? And they don't want to give you a solution. I would much rather you implement that and see things change in a positive, even if it may seem like, well, I've been doing this for X number of years. It's been my whole life. It can't change now. You'd be surprised how quickly that can actually turn around for you. So super important to make sure that you implement that because again, going barefoot, really, when you start learning and realizing the connections that are missing and you start understanding the ways that your feet impact everything that you do, you really take that a lot more seriously and you really will see the actual great benefits, from doing that all around. So if you're not, again, doing it, like I said, my recommendation is go ahead and start going out there, take an hour, take 15 minutes, take 2 hours, take the whole day, whatever, but just go barefoot, learn, practice, develop, and you start seeing different changes in your body that are happening that are all positive, that are all going to truly make a huge difference for you overall. Now, I know some of you are like, okay, yeah, I'd love to try this barefoot thing, but I'm not comfortable walking around barefoot. So maybe can I do this in my socks? I wouldn't recommend necessarily wearing socks for a few reasons. One, a lot more slippery, not really going to give you the reception and the proprioception that you want. So it might not be the best way for you to go about things. One avenue that could be much, much better, and that will actually give you the best of both worlds, would be to go with barefoot type shoes. There's a ton of companies out there that have great shoes that are being made specifically for that. What they do is they give you like a zero drop in the shoe, so literally keep your feet like they would be if you were barefoot. There's very little thin layer of materials between your foot and the ground, so you're still able to get the proprioception from the ground, and your brain knows exactly how to adjust everything, but you're getting that protection, so to speak, so you're not like on that hard surface and feeling like you're scratching and all those kind of things. That could be a great way for you guys to still be able to experience what barefoot living is like, even though you're not completely barefoot. Now, you still need to take those off when you're doing your grounding, so absolutely important. But for the rest of the time, you could definitely walk around with those, and that will make a huge, huge impact overall on where you're at. I'm going to include some links here in there for you guys to be able to see different companies and what they offer to be able to do that, so you can make a choice if you want for whichever one to work best for you. All right, but that's definitely a great way for you to tap into that whole process without changing everything. Like, we want to be able to provide you information all the time here that is actually going to make a benefit for you. So if you implement this, I promise you, your life will change for your benefit in ways that you can even begin to imagine. I am really excited and curious to hear some of you reach out to me in a week, 2 weeks, a month, and tell me how by going barefoot, you're seeing some of these incredible changes happening in your lives. And those of you that have been doing it for a while, you can definitely chime in and let me know how that's actually panned out for you as well, and the benefits that you're seeing from it altogether, because it really is a small thing that can have a huge, huge impact in your overall life. And the whole point is we want to be able to extend and make our overall life bigger and better, right? So let's go make it happen. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I'm really excited about, again, you listening. Thank you for that. If you have any questions about what I discussed or anything else that you want to talk about, if you want to learn how it can really, truly help you become the biggest badass that you've ever been or that you were designed to be, reach out. You can reach out to me on social media at Get Lion Strong on all different platforms, or you can go to our website at getlionstrong.com. You can go ahead and request the time to actually have a conversation. Let's see if what we do can help you become who you were supposed to be. Let's go forward from there, all right? Love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace out.